Twisted Metal Season 2 came at the perfect time, I think, for anybody, especially over the age of 30, who enjoys gaming and gaming media. It's been a rough go for, I think, the last month, maybe longer. Nintendo jacking up all their prices. Again, Xbox possibly requiring Face ID, and it's seeming like most companies are going to go that way because, government surveillance state, all that. And IPs not being used. Xbox and Phil Spencer just being stupid in general with how they handle things, canceling Perfect Dark. It's been hard to see probably my favorite medium for entertainment, storytelling, just be gutted. But I loved season 1 of Twisted Metal. I don't know how they did it. I was really concerned on how do you set a tone for this show. It's a series that has been incredibly dark and violent, and you could say cross the line a lot of times. It's also been really, really silly, sometimes heartfelt, and sometimes they try to mix both. And in the case of Twisted Metal 4, it was just really, really bad, and we didn't want that either. And the first season, although I think it lacked a little bit of the car action, it took characters, it made them interesting, and gave them stories that I actually cared. And yeah, they made changes to who drives what car, I think, a little bit, and some characters, but nothing that, especially for this series, that really should bother anybody. What I really enjoyed so far in season 2 is, I think it might be maybe they had a budget increase, or they took feedback, or both. There's already been way more action, and with the action, there's been little touches like missiles having the same smoke they did in the game, like the power missile, or not power, but just regular missiles having like orange smoke, and homing missiles having purple, and they're going to go get specials for their car, which is how the third episode ended. And they've only released the first 3, which is really, really, like, they do a good job of walking a line of like it being quote unquote realistic and like borderline mystical. Like, you get spoilers for the first 3 episodes of season 2, but Mr. Grimm, they imply, at least from his point of view, that he does absorb souls, because in a couple of the games he basically works for the Grim Reaper and gets addicted to eating souls. And for the first episode or 2 he's in, you're like, oh, okay, there's magic, and I was like, whatever, but it's fine. But when the other characters actually see him, they don't see the souls being pulled out. It's just like he's being a weirdo. So they're kind of walking that line, which is really, really interesting, and I think works. But with this show, I think the best thing they did is they didn't make it PG. Like, no matter what tone they went with, because all the games have various tones, you can't do PG. It just wouldn't work. It'd be lame, and it'd be boring. So they take advantage of it being more of a adult R-rated show really, really well, and not in a way that's like it's just kind of gross or stupid for that sake. It works within the humor, it works with the violence that these games typically have, and it's been really fun. Anthony Mackie and Stephanie, I forget her last name, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they're great. Their chemistry's great. They play off each other well. Feels like maybe they improv, but also not, just because it flows so seamlessly. This season, like, I love Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth. I wish he kind of got to do the voice, but Will Arnett also does a great job doing the voice part of Sweet Tooth. I think the combination actually worked out really, really well. It's been really, really fun, and like the references and Easter eggs, I think, for things can feel really ham-fisted and other shows at times, but I think for this, they feel, at least to me, really, really subtle for the most part. Sometimes not, but it allows me to I can be like, oh, there's that, there's this, and I don't feel distracted. One being, one of the characters they introduce, she calls herself Mayhem, but she looks exactly like the driver to Grasshopper in Twisted Metal 2, which turns out to be Calypso's daughter. And when we first meet her, she's trying to get to a green buggy Volkswagen Beetle looking thing, which is very, very similar to her car in Twisted Metal 2. They haven't got to the tournament yet. I'm hoping that either the tournament starts towards the end of the season and continues into an idealistic season 3, or it starts pretty soon, because I don't want it to be like one episode or just 2. It feels like something that should be an entire season. So we'll see how that goes. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But at this point, they've earned my trust, and I'll flow with it. I'll see what they decide to do. If you are of the age where you played all those games, oh well, before I end, they did Axel perfectly. I don't know how they made it look so good, and the guy who played him seems damn near perfect. But to pull off Axel live action was incredible. Like, hats off just for that. But yeah, if you enjoy Twisted Metal or just want a great turn your brain off show, maybe to fall asleep to, it's perfect. In that way, it's great. And let's hope the rest of the season goes as well as the first 3 episodes.